Hello, I'm Richard Ridge for BroadwayWorld. Up next at Encores Off Center is the first musical written by Alan Menken and Howard Ashman, which is Kurt Vonnegut's God Bless You, Mr. Rosewater, which will run from July 27th through the 30th. And we drop by the rehearsal room to meet the company led by Skylar Astin, Santino Fontana, and James Earl Jones.
In such a transaction, the watchful young lawyer will notice this moment, endeavor to use it, exacting a chunk of aforementioned treasure, then pass what is left to his client. A magical moment, a marvelous moment, a moment a lawyer adores. A lyrical moment, a miracle moment, the moment you finally get yours.
I've loved being here. I've learned so much, and the building has been able to respond in kind, and I don't know where else that could happen, and I'm just so proud of what everyone has done.
And talk about this musical. I remember seeing this at the WPA. I was 19, that little hole in the wall, and it just transformed me. I had no idea who Alan Menken or Howard Ashman were. I mean, what attracted you to this musical?
Well, I think there are many things. Politically, I think it's time to see it and to revisit it. Historically, it's time to look at the first work of this brilliant collaboration. Everybody knows them from the ones after this. We did Little Shop last year. Michael Mayer is an old and dear friend of mine. It was his idea, and I was always interested in this show, and he was interested in this show, so it naturally came together that this would be a wonderful team to do that here. We started our first season with The Cradle Will Rock, and I feel like it's a wonderful way for me to leave as being the last one. Having watched the Republican convention last night, I feel really proud that we are presenting this work here.
First of all, you know it's an insane process. This is my first time really doing one of these, and it reminds me of being back in Ithaca, New York at the Hangar Theater and doing a show where, you start on a Monday and you're teching on Saturday. It's crazy.
You're closed on Sunday.
And you're closed on Sunday, yeah, you're clopening. We just did that. We had a clopening with the Jamboree on Saturday. The most exciting thing about it, honestly, is that you get to see and hear the very first collaboration of Howard and Alan. And these are young, brilliant men who are working together for the first time and bringing out what they brought out in each other. So you feel it. You hear this combustion, and it's so exciting. You hear all the seeds planted of everything that's going to come in Little Shop and all the Disney stuff. And you also are keenly aware of what didn't get written. Because of how young they were, and you could see all the different directions they might have gone, and they went in a beautiful direction, and their stuff will live on forever because of it. But you also hear this other part of their writing that they didn't choose to go with that's equally exciting.
What's it been like living in this rehearsal room? Because it's only like 6 days you have, 6 or 7 days, and then you open and then you close.
Yeah, well that's the process. And I guess there's a dynamic in that it's good for an actor to experience for my first time. But it's, what Shakespeare say? Thornton Wilder. A passion, a platform and a passion or two. That was Shakespeare too, I guess, wasn't it? Yeah. And that's really all it should take to make theater, to tell a story in theater terms. And this theater gives us a platform, and they discover writers that have a passion or two, and they ask actors to try to lay it out.
Were you aware of this before you got this?
No, not at all. I knew nothing about it. Michael called me a couple years ago. It was a long time ago, and he even talked about, this is way far away, but I have this thing, I think you should do it. And I was like, well, send it to me, let me read it. And I read it, and I thought it was fascinating and odd and totally new to me. And the perfect thing that City Center should be doing, and the exact kind of thing that I want to do, be able to jump into a world for 2 weeks explore it, play with it, present it, and then move on to the next thing. So, and with great people. So I was like, sure, sign me up.
You have James Earl Jones in the room with you.
I know. It's really cool. He's also he's in two of my favorite movies. He was in Field of Dreams, of course, but also there's a movie called Sneakers that not many people know. Phil Alden Robinson also did. And I love both those movies. And he was also a voice of a Disney character. So we have that in common. No, it's awesome. It's awesome. And kind of like pinch-worthy over and over again. And Fences. I saw Fences at the library, with Courtney Vance. And so, yeah, it's cool.
What's it like living in this world of Kurt Vonnegut? And talk about the role you play.
Sure. I play Elliot Rosewater, who's born into a ridiculous fortune and has a little bit of a drinking problem, has some demons that we discover what they are. And he ultimately is looking for purpose and meaning in his life. And he discovers what he wants to do is go to a small town in Indiana and basically love a group of people that he doesn't know because he feels like they need to be loved. And he takes care of them. And in the process, he deals with some of those demons, which we discover what they really were about. And then also he stops a plot of Skylar Astin's character of stealing all of his money. But it's ultimately a story of compassion and giving and kindness and good triumphing evil, which is a story we always could use to hear, especially now.
First time here at Encores. What's it been like for you so far?
It's been fast and furious. Janine Tesori's making faces at me while I'm doing this interview, which is like a dream come true. I used to go to Stage Door Manor Performing Arts Camp, and Janine used to come up and do workshops there, and we would all be so lucky and so blessed to be selected. I never was, but we would watch her work, and now to be working with Janine and with Michael again, it's like a real labor of love here, and overwhelming leading up to it. But the experience, it's like we started 4 days ago. We're doing a run through today. Like, why not? Like, Encores. Like, let's do this.
So who do you play? Tell me.
I play Norman Mushari, the oily lawyer, the mischievous guy who's after Santino Fontana's character, Elliot's fortune. He's a millionaire who works for the Rosewater Foundation. He owns the Rosewater Foundation, and basically what he does is he gives these grants of large amounts of money to people who may not even deserve it. He just doesn't value the dollar the way so many of us do. So it's a real learning lesson. His character is very noble, and my character is not.
This is such a beautiful score, and this is the first score that Alan Menken and Howard Ashman worked on together. Oh, yeah. What's it been like finding out about this score and learning it?
It's like whenever you like work on any famous composer's music, you find these like seeds or these recyclings of these intervals or notes or even lyrics at times, and first of all, it's a very brilliant score, but there are these shades of like Little Shop in there, or even Aladdin. There's like a song that I think one of my songs, once the ensemble comes in, it has a very Be Our Guest kind of a feel. So it's like that's been really thrilling for all of us, being like, I'm hearing so much Menken and Ashman in this. So that's been thrilling to learn.
The fabulous moment, backstabulous moment, the moment of foment, a barrister's pleasure, a top-rated moment, a gold-plated moment, the moment of avarice, greed beyond measure. Charge me a fee.